Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in as always, and thanks ever so much for your ongoing support. Likes, subscribes, shares, comments, discussions, hints, tips and tricks, all massively appreciated. Right, today we're going in on Fabia. Reason Fabia's getting a clean today is because it's just coming up to 1 year of my ownership. I've done 10,000 miles. I'd meant to do a 3-month review, a 6-month review. I haven't, because I accidentally keep washing it, as you know. Anyway, now's a good time. The planets have aligned. It's a great opportunity to do that. So today I've done interior this morning, full hoover, leather, all the plastics, glass, engine bay. All the door shuts have been waterless washed and then QD'd. So everything internally is in nice condition. Built hamper, traceless on the glass. We're going to use traceless today to finish the exterior glass. So we're going in with gentle for the wheels, as suggested kindly for the channel. And I've filled this to the max and put 50mm in. I'm hoping to do this car, probably the Forester, and there might be enough left to do Suzuki as well. Very, very impressed with Garage Therapy Citrus pre-wash, used for the first time just recently, and it was very, very good. And in the wheel bucket we've got 30ml of Garage Therapy 1 wheel shampoo V2. Again, 30ml purely because I've maxed out the bucket so that I can hopefully get into a couple of cars. I have got far too much touchless. I poured in way too much, I will tell you. I wasn't going to mention it. But there's 300ml and then 700ml of water. So I've filled it up to the max. It should theoretically be really thick. So I thought, you know what, it'll be interesting to see how thick it comes out. It's in blazing sunshine. The car it presents nicely from there. It hasn't been washed for 2 weeks. It has got a fair level of dirt on it, so we'll look at that. Anyway, it's my bad entirely. I didn't measure, I just flopped it in, but then did check the gradation on the side of the MJJC 300ml. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to bother putting it back. Let's just see how that delivers, and hopefully it'll be really, really thick, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes on. But also, then I've got enough left to do Foz straight afterwards, which Foz will enjoy. And I also had half, or just under half, the Autoglym Polar Blaster filled with Polar Wash that I saved again from a previous wash. Anyway, so I thought, right, we'll use that. Waste not, want not, as they say. So that is Polar Blast being delivered by the Polar Blaster, purely so that I can have two mixed up, ready to rock and roll. Just put this to one side. And we're doing, it's like showing gold. I remember it. The price of it is ridiculous now. Anyway, Geon wet coat. For the finish, to make a change, the big bottle's out purely to, I need to top up. We have got CarPro ECH20 in the rinse bucket, as per my recent penchant, which I enjoy. Got a little bit of built hamper traceless, enough to finish up the glass, and Garage Therapy 1 tyre serum for the tyres. Right, let's pause, get this off the tripod, and we'll have a little look at the dirt. So, standard environmental stuff. Poo, dusty, schmusty. Well, I've been doing the bonnet underneath. I'd already got, what was I using? Autosmart finish. Ugh, good old favourite. So, yeah, just a reasonable level of dirt and dust. Nothing too tragic, nothing too remarkable. Certainly didn't require quite the level of touchless that I mixed. But hey ho, we are where we are. And as I say, I could have put it back, but it gives us that opportunity to see what thick delivers like. So that'll be good. And so yeah, just dust primarily, dust and bird poo and feathers. And I think the wheels have fared okay, hence why we're going in with citrus pre-wash and just a nice gentle cleanse on those. Right, I'll get this lowered on a tripod, we'll get into the two wheels on cam, and then we'll start getting the snow foam on straight away, and we'll have a look at the consistency. Right, let's get straight into that. Where's its pressure gone? Oh, I know. Maybe it's because it's overfilled. Or maybe it's leaked a little. Sadly, I think my IKs are finally coming to the end of their usable life. However, I will verify this, but they must have done almost 3 years. That's been sitting there an hour. So I just wanted to show that being livened up on cam, because as I regularly say, the Garage Therapy product does remain foamy throughout the entire cleaning process, which is nice. Which is nice. Lovely. Lovely, mellow, not chemical heavy, gentle Fabia maintenance wash. Just what we need. Just what we need. Right, let's get that one rinsed. And then we'll get a front done. God, I'll tell you what, that Garage Therapy is just pucker, really, man. Mind you, maybe last time this had, it's always had Garage Therapy quite regularly, but I think last coating, I'm sure you'll all correct me, but I think we did Auto Glim Instant Tyre Shine. And I know we've discussed before that any hydrophobicity is most likely down to the Garage Therapy product. However, that did look quite impressive, I think. Right, let's get this here. Just so you all know, there is dirt. I'm not pulling your chain. Yeah, so maybe this is all right. I just had a little puff around the top, but I think the foam is definitely dead. The other day, this pit started to lift up, and just as you were starting to hit the valve pop or valve release, it started to squirt out of all orifices. However, maybe this is still all right. Oh, look at that. Great. I have got huge amounts remaining. So I'll try and I might put that mixture in the shed. Then I can do all the vehicles Let's not jam that in there. It's too tight on the front discs. And I don't want to bend the rear brake disc protector. They're not looking too good on this car. When it went in for some work before, they said, oh, it's knackered. It fell off and we couldn't get back on. So I've bought a whole new set actually. But I think when it had its MOT, there was advisory on rear brake discs. So I'm just going to go full set of brakes, full set of pads, and get all my brake protector backs changed. And then that's that aspect of the Fab taken care of for the next sort of 5 years of my ownership. Easy. Right, just get this off. I might do a little splash of citrus pea up the arch line, as you know. Right, let's just grab the cam a moment so we can have a look. Nice. Nice. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All good. All good. Right, while I'm doing the others, I'm going to get a little splash of citrus pea up that arch and that arch. Let that have a little soak. I'll also put a little bit of citrus pea on the exhaust pipe just to let that have a little think while I'm doing the other wheels off cam. And then I'll just get that all pressure washed, rinsed thoroughly, and then we'll get into foam. As I was going around the car, I thought it'd be rude not to try citrus pre-wash versus touchless, just to see how each one performs. So we've got a decent crusty bad boy on two separate areas of the car that I can easily isolate. And as I say, I'll put 50mm. This isn't any scientific review, but we can have a little look nonetheless. So we'll put a little squirt of citrus on that. And I'll just go and pop a little blob of touchless on the other bit. And for transparency, bring tripod. Make sure I don't drag the cable by the... Here we go. And we want to get a similar amount, so we'll do test squirt over there. Let's have foam, please. Here we are. Just leave that there. That can have a think. We'll go and pressure wash off the citrus version, and whilst the touchless is having a little dwell, let's just see how this gets on. Bird poo gone. Nice. Right, this is a bit I hadn't treated. It's funny really, I mean the top bit did vanish quicker, but it left the crusty, which I can still just see. So, you know, it is helping. Right, apologies. Hopefully we're good. I'm going to bring some hose. This is where you want touchless definitely to be as good. Good. Not a trace. what we wanted. That is what we wanted. Right, let's pull the cam round and let's get a decent shot. Can have the bum end because the Fiesta's sat nonchalantly on charge, just making the world look a slightly happier place. That's what I think anyway. Here we go. Look at that. Lovely. Mustn't get carried away and have too much fun. Got to remember my plan. Which is to do another vehicle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 550 mil. Lovely. That will do. Thank you. Right, let's just, sorry, snag the wheel bucket. That will do nicely for a maintenance splosh. Right, it's getting nice and close. Start digging into that. So, yes, I've used a ton of product, but one way of looking at it is I'm only using half on this vehicle and then I use the other half on another vehicle. So, you know, it's not out the way and we're getting a decent clean, a decent dwell. I'm gonna get the car nice and clean and nice gentle hand wash, and then also a little bit of Geon, a little bit of summer protection, nothing too stratospherically strong or durable, but nice, because I'll be washing it every week, every 2 weeks minimum. So it's all it needs. It's all it needs. Right, let's do this bit first. Nice, nice, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's get in a nice tight one down the side and we'll just start working through this. Cobwebs. just so you can see the thickness of the touchless. Hopefully it's still there. On the other side, yeah, look. Wicked. Right, let's see, where are we? Right. Well, there's no rush and no drama with it drying, which is nice. It wasn't a bug. I'm not paranoid about bugs, but I don't want them walking all over me and stinging me. Fabulous. Right. So I think last coating the car had was Armour All. Look how long it sat around, man. Wicked, eh? No rush. No rush, no drama. Smashing. Oh, the finish is still wonderful, man. Really pleased. Check this. I'm pretty sure it's Armour All. I'd have to go back through my old videos, but you know. Wowzers. I will treble check. Right. Sorry, I just need to put the camera and the trigger down higher. And we're golden. Just get this framed. I'll get this finished up. Oh, I lost the little wheel thingy. Obviously not pressed it in hard enough. Operator error. So I did all the shuts in advance today. My theory being I use waterless to lubricate and ensure I'm not marring anything. Then I used Auto Bright QD just to bring up some nice shine. And my theory was that any water that gets in the shuts now, when I'm finishing up, I could just go straight in with a towel and it should be nice and hydrophobic, nice and slick, nice and clean, and I could just dry with the same towel. That was my theory. Maybe it was wet coat, you know. Maybe the last time Fabia had a wash was the time when we did wet coat in the Cannon. You know, it might be that. Oh, lovely. Perfect weather for it. And I've knocked out a thingy. Perfect weather for it. Maybe a tad too warm. Just going to check the camera's still running and then we'll start throwing some shampoo on. Right, camera's on. Everyone's happy, especially Fabia. Yeah, she'd had a bit of a charmed life last couple of weeks because I used the Subaru well, I cleaned my mate's Subaru last weekend, as hopefully you've seen, and I took the Subaru to work one day last week because my boss was going to pick up a new motorbike, so I offered to take him in the FOS so he could experience that, which was fun for everyone. I won't be using up too much of this. If you've been watching the channel for any length of time, plenty left for another vehicle. Let's put that one somewhere safe. Yeah, if you've been watching the channel for any period of time, you will immediately identify that I always go over and over and over and over. So, citrus up the arch, wheel cleaner up the arch, wheel shampoo up the arches, snow foam up the arches, and then that last little snippet of shampoo also up the arches. And I always think one reason is to neutralize any residual chemicals from the wheel cleaning products if you were using something aggressive. I'm not today. Lovely. Nice. Just what we like. Yeah, so I use it as partly to, neutralise any chemicals if I had been using specifically built amber. But I also, in today's particular situation, I'm using the method to get the arches as clean as possible. I might dry them actually over the weekend. Well, once it's dry, and then I might get a wheel off and get some Dynax in. We shall see. Right, let's get this part done on cam, and then we'll get finished up. Oh, apologies. Oh, this is so nice. Touchless. Wonderful. I fully appreciate I had it mixed far too strong. But there's always something that we can test. Like I say, I thought, oh, maybe I'll just whack it back in the bottle. But I was interested to see how thick it had come out. And it's interesting, especially in this heat, how long it hung about. Right, let's do it all together, shall we? Why not? Why not? Let's get it camera here. Must do some garden spruce up. It's that time where I need to be trimming the hedge and having a little tidy up, frying some rubbish out. I've got a few days off, which is nice. So, got loads of YouTube projects on the pad. I'm going to try and sort of split my time between healthy living, exercise and food, and walking the dogs, gardening, clearing my late mother's house, and just generally being industrious. It's just a Friday and Monday off. Right, is Cam good? Right, can live there for a bit. We'll get this last bit squared away. Just push that off the spoiler. Get in for glass while I'm here. And then another dunk. Actually, we'll do this glass. Sorry, not looking at Cam. Just seeing if my partner's home. I'm going to grovel to her today and see if she'll come out with me to help me shoot some B-roll. And I've decided in advance she's not going to want to do GoPro. She's not going to want me to explain how the gimbal and follow mode works with the DJI. So best option, I think, will be she drives. She drives, I film. So I can get a couple of sort of rolling shots for Fabia Rev-You, and they've only got to be sort of scenic, just Fabia moving type stuff. And then maybe I'll set a cam up and I'll do a, it's not going to be about performance, but I might do a little pull, just send it down the road. Send it. I don't mind sending her down the road. She can do that. She can do that. What do you lot think? I've got 9.5 litres of as close to fresh as it comes. As you saw, Fabia had copious amounts of touchless, a good rinse. Would you use that for your next wash? I've got another bucket prepared with fresh rinse water for another vehicle, but I'm just interested in everyone's opinions. I typically end up launching it and making a new one, especially if there's any bugs, etc, etc. But on this occasion, on how clean this was, I'm thinking it might be okay. But let me see, let me hear in the let me know in the comments. When James was over last week, obviously I was trying to socialise, get to know him a little bit, and get my stuff ready, get the camera stuff ready, be organised, start thinking about what we're going to say, how we're going to introduce, what we're going to do. But something I did do, I spent quite a lot of time cleaning every single cleaning item, religiously. Now, excuse me, it's nothing out of the ordinary. I do that every single week. Before I begin, I get everything out nice and neat, fill my buckets, I clean the outside of the lid, the inside of the lid, the bottoms, spray the grit guards, I pressure wash all the wheel cleaning brushes and all the mitts, everything. And you know, I don't think that's not unusual, but what I thought was I should record that. Maybe it's me. I just found it sort of, I was like, it's quite interesting, you know. I like that attention to detail. It's quite funny actually. I did say to James, you know, we talked at length about products, what products he wanted to use. It when he said, oh, we've had a hosepipe ban, immediately I was like, well, wash your car. Be great. A bit of diversity for the channel. But also, you have to remember, you know, you question yourself, if you're into cleaning your own vehicles with your own products, your own way, your own hands, would you let someone else touch it? So it's interesting, you know, and that was one of the reasons. Like, I asked him what products he'd like to use, and he explained what he'd tried before and what he normally uses. So I was like, yeah, we can do that. But also, I said, you know, I've got brand new in the packet mitts, if you'd like to get them out, or bring your own, you know. So you never know. You want to know that that towel has never been on the floor. It's been laundered correctly at the correct temperature, without softeners or fragrances, etc., preferably with a specialised cleaning product. Yeah, it's interesting. This has been one of them ones, to me, where it's been so nice, it feels like... it feels like it was over too quick. What a loser. What a total loser. It's been nice though, having, you know, solid amount of time for a good clean. Right. Excuse me, one moment. Sure, Fabia won't mind that. Right. Let's get a tiny douse of this in here. Drip some. Lovely jubbly. Get you on there. You on there. Obviously, we're gonna very quickly pressure wash that bit where I may have a drip, just so that we don't get any water spots. Cool, there was enough just for it to do the, you know, what it does. The Geon milky vibe. Right. So let's do... Ooh, sorry. My bad. Let's do that panel. Cool. Thank the Lord for stabilisation. Oh. Every time. Just fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, camera's boiling. It still never ceases to amaze. Let's get this whole lot done. Just because as you can see in the reflection, filming, holding Geon. Oh, it's just what you need, isn't it? It is just what you need. Right, let's get the roof layered up. And then I am going to pause cam and go and locate drying towel and then continue with this process, make sure it's wet so that I'm ready at breakneck speed to dive straight into the drying. Oh, it's just the business. Right, one more. My apologies. I'm just feeling that vibe of working through the whole process together. What better way to spend a Saturday afternoon, eh? A little bit on the windscreen. Oh! And I'm just going to shoot that up the screen. Because why not? I've discussed this in the comments before. Some people say, oh no, you should get it on the windscreen. Well, I'm of that type of person that tries to never use them. And there'll always be some sort of coating in the car, on the windscreen. So if I'm driving, it generally beads up and shoots off when you're going over 40 anyway. Righty-tighty, let's start getting that all done and I'll be back in a moment, and I think I'll get the drying done and then we'll get in and we'll put some product on the wheel faces and I'll get them all dry, get some product on the wheel faces, and then we'll do tyre serum. I blatantly fibbed. We're going to go in for the whole lot together. Why not? It's a beautiful day. Done all the interior this morning, which is very unusual for me. Not because I don't clean the interior, but I'm typically one of these people that I try and keep it clean as we go along. I don't eat in the car. I don't drink in the car. I just trundle to work and trundle home. And that is it. And I'm fortunate enough that my daughter is now of the age where she's sort of clean. She does things in the car that I don't like brushing her hair. As you can imagine, I am insanely fussy. And I always think, as much as I like doing this, I always think, if you can mitigate against not having to do it, let's do that. Like, not eating in the car, certainly not brushing your hair in the car. So hopefully, going to be able to crack open, going back to why I did the cleaning inside earlier, hopefully going to be able to crack open all the doors and then just go straight into the shuts with the same towel. The car hasn't been anywhere. There's no likelihood there's any grit, gravel, dust, anything with the potential to contaminate the towel or indeed mar the paint. Crumbs. As much as I was having a lovely time when the sprayer was on the go and everything seemed really easy, well, suddenly everything's drying like the proverbial clappers and I'm having a bit of a fight. Anywho, just crack through that nice and quick. Whew. And we're almost there. So I overcome the problem. When James was here, I forgot that with the DJI you get one mic. So I should have used the GoPro because that has a twin mic setup. Again, provided by DJI. Don't ask. The DJI Mic 1 that I use with the GoPro, that has two mics, but it won't natively connect to the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I believe that's because Osmo Pocket 3 uses DJI Mic 2 technology. There is a way around it, and I could have plugged the receiver from the Mic 1 into the chuff of the DJI. Sorry, my brain was asking me two questions simultaneously. And it just went, nah, I ain't doing that. No way. Right, so hopefully I did all down these lines, you know, the bits you don't traditionally get. So they've all been waterless and then Auto Bright Direct QD. So, idea being that now I can just wipe and we're close to happy perfection, which is what we want. That is what we want. So yes, there was some pre-prep, but it's nice. There was me thinking I could do that without getting in the way. Obviously I'm wrong. I was telling a friend the other day, I think I went to a leaving do the other night, and you know, we were shuffling around in the restaurant, and I'd had a few pints obviously, and I was like, don't worry, I'll activate small mode. And they looked at me as if to say, what? I've always said that, because I'm 6'3" and just under 15 stone. Obviously I'm always in the way. Small mode doesn't really work. So I always say that. Activate small mode. Oh no, it's not working. Right, I need to... that's cold. Apologies. I have my bobble hat in the car just to keep the aerial from doing any further scratching. Oh man, my plan worked a treat. All these areas are slick, Rick. Just what I was hoping for. And I did everything. Legs, under bonnet, etc, etc. So now it really is just a case of gentle wipe down and done. Right, let's have a look at two more, and I will go and grab some QD just to finalise any niggly bits. Ah, lovely. So yeah, I'm not picking up any dirt. Traditionally, you know, you might, if I was just pushing around residual dirt from the pressure wash, but because I know I've gone through and cleaned every inch of these bits, bar, you know, I tried to do top of the hinges, top of the doors, bottom of the shuts, everything. The only bits I may not have got as much were just where the lithium grease is on the hinges. But you know, it's there for a reason. So we're getting that there, in there. Nice, nice, nice. And I don't think I'll have to dry the tyres, because I think by the time I've been round with a QD just to nip off any final little niggly bits, then I think tyres will be bone dry. Right, I'm going to keep this cloth only for wiping off any excess once I've done tyre serum. When I've finished off the Geon, I did apply Geon to the wheel faces. So contrary to what I said earlier, we're not going to go around and do any kind of product on the wheel faces. They've had ample for today, although I could squirt some Atom Mac in there, couldn't I? That'd be good. Discs always appreciate a little squirt of Atom Mac. I was tidying up my detailing cupboard yesterday, so I will do that. I'll keep this cloth specifically for the Atom Mac, and I'm going to go and hang this on the line and then get some QD, and we'll finish up and then we'll sign out. It's always the way, isn't it? You go off looking for something and then realise that your past self left it somewhere for you, especially. So we've got good old Auto Bright Direct QD, just to go over any water spots, bits that I didn't quite dry in time, etc, etc. And just as I was pressing pause, I remembered that I had also said that we would do glass and tyre serum, so you can't get rid of me just yet. If you've made it this far in the video, but you're thinking, if he'd have warned me at the start that this was going to be forever, maybe I wouldn't have watched. What's happened? Maybe I just need someone to talk to. Right, going in for glass in a bit, so I don't need to spend too much time on that. Look, spider, look. I need that. I could see it crawling up towards my face. I felt something get on me as I went in the through the gate. Presumably, they build a nest there, a web there, to try and catch passing traffic, which is fine. Hello. But I don't want to watch it crawling towards my face, particularly. Right. So, I will leave that. Yes, it has a clean bottom. Note to self. Let's do that. Then it won't roll away. So, let's do traceless. Everything's still in shot nicely. Mustn't forget that that is for tyres. Let's get in for glass. Nothing amazing, to note about the delivery. Don't need to be super, super rushy. Not going to use a lot. I have spotted a few bits inside that I've missed. But there you go. But yeah, the reason I say, obviously, the special thing to note is that the product is amazing. But what I meant was 2 mists. I've only got this much. I have another bottle. This was what I had pre-mixed. But you only need a little bit. Great. I did a terrible job on the inside. I'll have a word with myself later. Introduce some drips. No drama. I'm going to drop that wheel towel because that's just for mopping up any residual tyre serum, as mentioned. Hopefully they'll be nearly dry now. tyre serum does like to be applied on a dry tyre. That I will say. That I will say. Right, let's just carry on round. Apologies. Just get this done. I rarely do this. And you know, such a nice product to use. It is just the ultimate glass cleaner. Wonderful. Wonderful. I suppose really I should do get some Glaco on now. Now is a prime opportunity to do Glaco and Infinity Wax plastic coat. Then the car's kind of sealed nicely. But there's going to be quite a few more washes between now and autumn, as I'm sure you all know, and that will give me prime opportunity to do the whole protection from head to toe thing for the Fab, and that'll be wonderful. Right, let's pause and we'll get in and do a wheel. Then I'll get the rest done off cam and we'll have a look at the end results. And I'll show you the interior and everything. Everything's looking wicked. Yeah. At the end, I'll pop everything up and we'll have a little nosy nose. Typical. Just typical. That was from the dangling the wipers. Not my shoddy workmanship. Ah, poor old clear coat on the bonnet. God. And headlights need another polish soon. And another coat of, what did we have? Sonax. It was. Right. Tyres. One moat. Right, let's get in and get a tyre done. I'll get the rest finished off cam. And we are winning. Right. Please, yes. I've had problems with a few of my product bottles just giving up. Wilting in the sun. And I mean, yeah, I get the whole, apologies, I get the whole, you know, keep them indoors, but I've got too many. I just have too many. Sorry about my hand. Just push that around the bead, which I always like to do. Rim protector. No hex waffle pad was injured during that brief contact with the floor. I promise. It's just the edge of the handle or the edge of the applicator. Trust me when I say I am very careful with everything. It's a personal trait. Right, I'm just going to get the camera down. So that's that, looking wonderful. The car's showing a nice clean appearance throughout. Right, I'll get the others done off cam, get the last few bits and bobs done off cam, and then I'll be back. We'll have a look around the car, look at the end results, and then I'll sign out. See you in a moment. Right, not something we normally do, but as today I have been into the detail of this morning hoovering the insulation stroke sound deadening. These aren't marks, this is just reflections, by the way. Yeah, I hoovered that. I did think, oh, if the neighbours see me, they'll think I'm mad. Had a little bit of a dust around under here, and there was no deep clean. It was literally doused all the plastics with Auto Smart Core finish. So I got auto smart finish on everything, gave it a thoroughly good wipe down, tried to sort of go really detailed, get as much as possible, and then any areas that I'd missed or gone over paint, I then QD'd, or waterless, then QD'd. So cleaned plastics, does a good job on that. All the backs of the headlights along here, obviously keeping away from electrics, belts and things. All the pipe work, all the hoses, etc, done. Scuttle could do with some more attention. I need to start working on rust proofing ideas for this. Maybe I should sand it down, treat it, and then recoat it. But yeah, so she's presenting quite well in that respect. I could probably start digging into the plastics. That would probably be a good next phase. Wheels are looking nice. As I said earlier, all the interior's done. So I have these mats. Can't remember where they're made by now, off the top of my head. Anyway, they were sort of Corbo, something like that. And then the badges were from AliExpress, and they look quite nice. I used literally Velcro 3M command strips to keep them there, and they never move. Treated all the leather this morning to Maguire's Ultimate Leather Balm. Done all the dash with Auto Smart Finish, just because I enjoy the product. Again, leather was done front and back. All the carpets and mats were all done with the standard sort of tickle and suck method. I haven't thoroughly cleared out the boot. Everything's looking fairly tidy, fairly neat. It's just this is the bag of original mats. So I'm going to make a video one day of restoring them to their former glory. But yeah, I just keep the mats are in there, decorating towel in case I need to get under the car, oil, various other bits and bobs, a collection of CDs, obviously, because now I have a CD player in the Fabia, which I love. Hoovered the inside and outside of the parcel shelf. Look at a wheel. So yeah, maybe if I spent a bit more time, say I spent another day on plastics. I did all the rubbers earlier, which is always a pleasing experience. I like it when they look all fresh. I like it when they look fresh. Anyway, yeah, another day, plastics, underside, a little bit more in-depth detailing. I'd be thinking about taking her to a car shop. So I had worked on the shuts, as I said, so they were all presenting quite well already. I could get in and treat these. Again, dash is all done. Obviously used touchless to do the clocks. Everything in here is looking all right. And someone asked about one of my shorts, is the gear stick warm? Well, no, I mean, no, this part's good. This part's pretty good, to be honest. Underneath this AliExpress cover, the knob's okay, except the sticker's worn off. So I just covered it up for now. I have bought another one. I do like those fake carbon VRS. I meant to take the overmat off. Idiot. There we go. I put that in just so that when I moved the car, I didn't make it dirty. Yeah, I did buy another gear knob, but I've yet to install that. And I do partly think maybe I'll put it in the boot and the next owner can have it. Obviously, I used Auto Smart Finish on the plastics and the footrest, and then cleaned and dried everything. Made sure the pedals looking nice, just to get the finer details dealt with and taken care of. And yeah, I was saying, those AliExpress VRS bolster things, they stop dust. They stop dust and detritus going down the middle, because it's a bit of a tight squeeze there, so it is a pig to clean. Right, let's get all that down. I think that's as I was getting carried away. It was all looking so good, I couldn't help it. Right, and this is how the exterior looks. All good, all good. Right, hope you enjoyed that one as always. Hope it wasn't too long. I really enjoyed it, as always. I'm upset that it's over. But yeah, it's thoroughly enjoyable. Products great, touchless great, shampoo great, Geon wet coat great, rinseless in the rinse bucket great, traceless great, tyre serum great, all great, just brilliant. Auto Bright Direct, QD, Puckaroony, and you know, I don't mention it enough, but Auto Smart finish, just wicked. I went to use, I will show you. I went to use this morning. I made a video about this once before, but the sound was terrible, so I've never shared it, right? And it was brilliant. Clean and protect at the same time. Anyway, guess what? I went to use it this morning. It won't come out. Surprise, surprise. I'd succumbed to buying Maguire's, even though I've said in the past I'll never buy them again because the bottles are rubbish. New plastics. I thought, right, I'll give it a try. I really liked it, as I say. I've been meaning to reshoot that product for the channel. And this morning, I was just pouring it out and using it. And then I was like, right, I've had enough of this. This is rubbish. So, because you weren't getting an even delivery. So, Auto Smart finish dealt with that. Anyway, like I say, hope you enjoyed that as always. If you're enjoying the content, I've got a new thing to say. If you're enjoying the content, how about watching another video? There is hundreds up there. Or maybe there. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, maybe watch another video. That would be the best thing you could do for the channel. Just watch another video. That'd be the best thing ever. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. As always, take very, very good care of yourselves. See you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.